What's going on YouTube? This is Rone coming at you with another video. So this series lasted way less, or it didn't last as long as I was expecting it to. It looks like I already finished it with just 2 videos. So I'm already at max rank for the Duelist Cup, and I'm currently battling it out through the final round. And yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. I'll be real with you guys. Like it was, I mean, some of these games you'll see like 29 turns, 25 turns. Like I was getting the worst draws, and I was fighting for my life like every single game because it was like it's so stupid. Like I would open up, let's say I would open up with like a good hand, right, start oppression, and then like now they would just I would just have to get the cards I need just to kind of tie the noose further and further, and then I can just kind of bleed them out essentially every time. Like I would just get the wrong cards, the wrong cards, the wrong cards, and then like they may draw the right card or just something like of that nature. So all these turns are going to be abnormally long, well, at least a good few of them. But these are also games that I won. The ones that I lost, same 20, 30 turns, and then like they end up just getting the right card and just winning, and I'm like, so without further ado, let's get started. Let me show you the first game. So first game I start out with, I mean, this is a pretty awesome hand, I mean, to say the least. So I mean, well, awesome going first hand because I don't like I. Then there's also the problem where like I'll draw the going first hand second or the second going first. So it was just a really bad. I don't know. It was just a lot of poor luck, honestly. Because you've seen my deck. I run a 40 card deck, and I just feel like I was getting a lot of repeats and a whole bunch of other nonsense. So, but you know, luckily I persevered. I played through it, and here we are. So this guy's playing a very interesting. Like I didn't know if it was Rika. I didn't know if it was trap tricks. I just could not tell what the hell was going on here. But I was just hoping that whatever board he ended on was not a very strong board. So, I mean, the good thing about this deck is I play Rika. I mean, Rika was like one deck I learned by myself and played by myself and just really took it on. So, like, all these cards are very familiar to me. So I knew exactly how to, to stop him from playing. So Pot of Prosperity I grabbed straight away just to see if there's something I can grab, and luckily I grabbed the Evenly, so I didn't even have to think about strategy. I just dropped the card because all of these had no trap negates or omni negates, so I was like, all right, just no big deal. So now I got Necro Valley out, and then he ended up bullshitting me with that, and I was like, oh, fantastic. If I would have went Golgonda first, then I would have been in a much better spot, but sad, sucks for me. So he ended up trying to use Princess, and like he used Princess once, canceled it out. Then I used it again, and then like that was why he got destroyed the second time. So now I get Safe Zone on Jogan. So now this is fine because like he can attack me and nothing's gonna happen. So this is what I was kind of alluding to earlier, where like this is a pretty good spot for me right now. Like he can't summon. This isn't going to get targeted or destroyed by, like, let's say an Imperm or anything else, and it also has protection, so even if it did get destroyed, then I can just defend with Golgonda an extra time. So now I'm sitting fantastic. Now this is like, he can't do anything to me right now. Or at least, for now. I get a Solemn just in case he has something else to stop me. But now I'm just kind of waiting. We're already on turn 8. I get the Moon Mirror Shield, so I was like, oh, thank God. Now I can just set this, start whacking everyone. So now he has to start sweating. He has to throw everything in defense because he can't go anywhere else. This was kind of not wise for me because now I plugged up all of my zones here. I probably should have just waited one at a time, but I got a little overzealous. I was like, oh, well, I got 2 Solemns. So that way if they try to cheat, bullshit me 2 times, then I could defend. I get my Necro Valley up, so that's cool. Now I'm just constantly attacking, just try to take it out card by card. I get time tearing, can't use it. I was so sad about this. So now I'm just like just hitting one at a time. And now the whole time, where are we at? Turn 15. Not one time did I get a single monster. This drove me absolutely crazy. Like I'm already at 26 cards and I did not get, like, all I had was this one Jogan, not another monster. I was like flipping the hell out while I was playing this game. Finally, I get a fossil down. I was like, I was about time. Like, Jesus Christ. So now finally, I can start actually doing some life point damage. Because after a certain point, I mean, what are we at? Turn 19. I was like, this is ridiculous. And the thing is Jokin can't attack directly, which I don't even care about. But at least it can, like, destroy a card, and then Fossil Dyna can start doing life point damage. So I'm now, this is a ideal situation for me where I can actually win the damn game. I was like, this is so dumb. Then I get a second Fossil Dino. Now everything is, now I'm sitting pretty. Finally, after 20 turns, I'm in a good spot, or a spot where I can actually win. Two-time tearings. So now I'm comfortable, or now I'm happy. I'm like, okay, finally, this game is going to come to an end, and he's not going to surprise me with anything. And that was it. Finally got there. So yeah, that was game one. But wait until the final game. The final game is probably my favorite one out of all of them, because that one was like a very intense back and forth battle. Like, that one was, I mean, I had to pull all the stops to win, but it felt competitive, not like some of these. So this was weird. I really have no clue what this guy was trying to do. I mean, actually, I guess to some degree. I think probably with that card, he was trying to throw all of his stuff in the graveyard to see if he could probably throw more of his Horus monsters in here. That's the only thing I could think of. But then even here, he only had 2 Horus monsters, Lingaribo, and we're in end phase. I was like, So, first thing, Dark Ruler, because then Dark Ruler will go ahead and stop these guys from activating effects when I take out the back row. I take out the back row, Nadir Servant to get this card, and then I go ahead and Garura to get Time Tearing. And it was weird. He just quit after that. I don't know what. Like, this was not a good hand by any means. But, like, I just remembered, like, flashing the Ecclesia, and he's just like, no! He just ended up quitting. And I was like, okay, I'll take the win, because I was just not expecting. I thought I was going to have to battle this one out, and quite the opposite happened. You know, 29-turn game, and then the next one, 2-turn game. So, it's like, just really don't know which games you're going to get in this game. So this one, not bad. You know, I got Necro Valley, Dogmatic, and Solemn. I mean, I don't have any barrier statues, no monsters, but I'm gonna try my hardest to, like, kind of BS my way through this game. So I immediately Solemn the Tearlament Scream because I feel like this card's important. So I stopped that. So now he has whatever that trap is. He goes for Rhino Heart here. I personally wait until, oh yes, this is where I wait. So I have Necro Valley, he can't do any shit out of the graveyard. The minute he goes to attack, I destroy Rhino Heart, and then get an extra draw. He still can't get out of the graveyard. This is, like, really oppressive to a Tearlament deck. This Necro Valley is very strong. So now I go Pot of Prosperity, see if I can get a hold of something. Really, I was just trying to look for some back row protection, which I got. Like, so I got Solemn, Safe Zone, and Fossil Dino. So I'm like, all right, now I'm extremely comfortable. So I immediately safe zone Fossil Dino because I knew he was trying to attack it, and I was like, nah, not happening. So now I run him defense because now, like, you know, he literally, it's just a stalemate here. So he goes this bullshit card. So I already knew where this was going. He was gonna try to go into his Kastira package, and that, you know, doesn't require the graveyard. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not letting you play that direction. So I say hell no to this. Then he goes Tier Limits Rhino Heart, and then that's all he's got for now. So now I finally get Moon Mirror Shield to start doing damage. So I take this card out first and foremost, because then this card is useless. It can't do anything from the with the Necro Valley in place. I mean, neither can Rhino Heart, but still, just figured one, you know, one card at a time. So got this card out. This card, I figured being that it was face down, it wouldn't be important. So I took the important cards. So now pop this one, and then I got Barrier Statue. I mean, this doesn't do shit for me, but it's still just 1,000 attack, because you gotta think, like, if with Tier Limits, all they're doing is special summoning monsters. So I just said, ah, what the hell. So then he attacks the one monster off the field. I was like, wow, congratulations. I was like, now I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to be here for a very long time, because based on my other draws, like, I am just not having a good time. I'm literally sitting on, like, Moon Mirror, Safe Zone, and Necro Valley. Like, I just feel like this, I mean, this is enough, but it's just barely enough to survive. So I'm just hoping to get more stuff in here to do, you know, to actually survive this game. But I end up getting copies of Lightning Storms. I got a Dark Ruler, a copy of Necro Valley. I just keep drawing so many repeated cards. So now Lubellion, fantastic. Can't do anything about that. So I get Time Tearing, thank goodness, because at this point I was like, well, at least Time Tearing, I'm getting 2 cards at a time, so they can't... It's only a matter of time before they stop BSing me. And they still continue to BS me. Safe Zone, evenly. I'm like, this game hates me so much. I'm like, this is insane. I think I even got 3 of my Solemn. Oh no, yeah, I did get 3 of my Solemns. So, and then I got 2 safe zones and another evenly. I was like, this is wild. Or actually, no, it was a Moon Mirror, but you get the point. Just repeated and useless cards. So now, at this point, I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to use my last Solemn, because it's not like he's going to do any life point damage to me, because I still have, like, a decent enough setup. So then I get the other Fossil Dino with Moon Mirror, and I'm just going to attack with that one Fossil Dino. The last play was actually kind of funny. I just remembered what I ended up doing, because I was just over this match. You'll see it in a second. So I get Ecclesia, I get Dogmatica, I set Dogmatica, and I attack with everything. And now I'm at 1600. Oh wait, never mind. Just kidding. I thought I did something else. Maybe I'm confusing games, but yeah, at this point I knew the game was over, so... Yeah, and that's game. Yeah, there's another game where I do something kind of silly. I don't remember if it's in these replays. I'm going to still play it out and just see. But I'll keep a mental note of it, because it was kind of silly and funny. So, Fire King deck, you know how much these are. I mean, you know what these things do every 20 seconds. Like, they're always just popping monsters, pulling them in and out of the graveyard, and just, like, even now, you're probably going to see it. It's crazy. Like, you end up destroying an entire board, and they end up rebuilding a board just off of your same turn. So I go evenly here. What he pissed me off with cross out. I was like, is this guy for real? And then I realized he didn't have it. He was just bluffing. So then I go Lightning Storm, I pop this one monster, and guess what happens? Everything. Everything happens after this. I was so annoyed. So yep, doing all of his nonsense repeatedly. So now I go Jogan. So I had to make a choice here. Like, I could have probably saved Dark Ruler for another turn, or I just used Jogan's effect just to pop all these monsters. My mind was with Jogan, because after I destroy all these monsters, I know they're not coming back because he can't special summon. And then I get Solemn and Safe Zone to defend the Jogan at least for one turn, so I went that route here. So now I just throw Safe Zone straight away, because like I know what his next plan is. He's gonna throw like the one monster on there, and, yep, like this monster, and then this bullshit. But then luckily I had Solem to just give him a big middle finger, because that's how these guys like to play. He attacks me, doesn't do anything, or doesn't destroy me because of Safe Zone. I had that all mapped out. I was like, oh, they're going to pull that bullshit card out. He's going to set this card. He's going to destroy that card. Like, I was on it. Thankfully, I had that Solemn to protect me, so that was very the most satisfying thing ever, that I could just literally tell the dude no. So Dogmatica, I'm planning to destroy this card, and I think destroy that card. I was going to, but then he decided to quit, because at that point he knew that it was going to be a long game. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's just crazy, like, how easy some of these decks are just to, like, stop things. Because, like, literally, one spell card and one monster, and then you could just have your choice of destroying whatever you want on the field. Is crazy. SP Little Knight, you just make him, and then you just say, oh, whatever card, I'm just going to banish it. Like, the game is in such a very interesting state right now, where just you could just do whatever you want, and it's the things aren't as hard to out anymore. So this just seemed like a pretty much a run-of-the-mill Cyber Dragon Rocket deck. But even then, I just remembered him ending on a board that wasn't super impressive. At least it didn't appear like it to me. That's the other tough part about these games, is that like stun is literally just two, maybe three moves, and then you pass turn. Like, a lot of these decks are just very full of combos and so much going on. So like, if I don't go first, I'm just like, all right, let me pull up a seed, let me read a book, I'll just crack open a magazine. Like, it just gets, you know, especially when you're playing a grind game like this, where you just want your matches to be fast. It's like quick, you know, either quick win or quick loss. Like, quick win, great. Quick loss, whatever, just move on. Like, some of these games you really have to sit through. So now he's got this Hieratic Seal, but I read that like you contribute one monster and return one face-up card on the field to the hand. So this to me seemed like the problem card, because this was a monster negate, but I wasn't super worried about this. So I was like, all right, I gotta prioritize this card and get that out of here. So I go Pot of Prosperity, see what I get. I got nothing but Dark Ruler, so I threw Dark Ruler down just to, you know, ignore all of these monsters' effects. I go Nadir Servant. I pop this card right away because I was not dealing with that. So now I use the special effect. So I used the special summoning effect, because you got a synchron. Why can't I talk today? Synchro Monster. You have a Synchro Monster here, so that makes this special summon effect go live. But then he can't do it because I had Dark Ruler, so I ended up grabbing a little bit of extra tech. Got Dogmatica here. So yeah, that's there. I destroy. Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, I was kind of like it was calculated. I was kind of sad that I lost my Dogmatica, but I just felt like I was like, well, if I already used a Dark Ruler, I'm not going to get any direct battle damage to the opponent. And if I can just sacrifice one card and just wipe the entire board, and now I'm super protected, it was to me it was a risk worth taking. I just attacked him just to troll. I mean, I was just like, well, let me just mess with him. He's probably gonna figure it out when I tilt him just to see if he'll quit early, but he didn't. So now I got Safe Zone, Moon Mirror. Yeah, that's when he started tilting. Once he saw the card protection, I mean, I had a lot of back row protection. He was not breaking that apart. Guess what? Another Fire King. Who would have thought? Wild guesses here. So, very simple board to start on. I had Time Tearing. So I elected just to go with everything because my thought process simply was, I mean, Time Tearing, I'm able to put in 2 monsters. If he ends up trying to go Imperm, he has to pick one of the other monster. He can't do both, so that'll still keep one of these guys alive. And I still have Dogmatica just to kind of follow up with protection if I needed, or just back row protection. So I attack him, and then I see what else he has. He tries to Imperm here, and then, yeah, he knew it was over. he flipped the Imperm. I was like, what is he trying to do here? And then he just quits. Like, he just, yeah. I guess it was just revolting. He was like, this is bullshit, and he just left. Gotta love those acts of defiance. This is a very questionable hand. All I was living on was Jogan and Moon Mirror and Safe Zone. That's all I had. Like, that's bare minimum. So now I'm freaking out because, see, here saved my life. Because I was like, if he had an Imperm and he started with that, he'd have messed up. But I was confused. I think he just didn't realize what Jogan did because, like, it just seemed very strange how that whole thing went down. So now I'm just going to keep attacking him with Barrier Statue. Because Jogan's such a weird card. I think this card is from, like, the very, very beginning stages of Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's even the fact that it's not once per turn is absolutely cracked. Like, you could just keep throwing random cards from your hand to the graveyard and then just keep destroying special summon monsters. So if they negate, you're just like, shrug, okay, reactivate effect. It just pisses people off. So this was huge. Like, I was saving my Solemn for something crazy, and that was absolutely crazy. So I got Solemn to save my life. Now I just throw on Necro Valley just for that extra protection. Barrier Statue, I'm just constantly tapping him with Barrier Statue until I can get another monster, because as I've said, this game really just holds on for dear life and just gives me nothing. Dark Ruler, very useful at this point in the game. But like I said, I mean, at the very least I have Jogan to break a card that's set, and then this to at least do some damage, but you just fear these games because these guys could just do anything, honestly. Like, they could, I mean, they draw a Harpies, I'm done. They draw, like, evenly matched. Well, in his case, not applicable, but you get the point. There's always going to be an out, so the quicker I get this game done, the better. But I really had to just ride him out all the way until the end. So I attack. So remember that mental note I told you about earlier? Ended up doing it now. I was just like, you know what? I don't even want to wait one more turn. I ended up just putting Dimension Shifter over this monster just to attack for game. I was just like, this is a little risky, but I just want this game over, so I just did it. So that was hilarious. I was like, well, fuck it. Dimension Shifter actually useful for more than turn 1 or turn 0 or turn 1. Finally got its money's worth. Another well, actually I can't. I mean, slight disaster, but Product Prosperity gives me a little bit of hope. So yeah, I finally get that barrier. So I was like, okay, at least this. So now this is a much, much better hand. Got Nader, got Dogmatic Ecclesia, got all of my... This is like my favorite, because this protects, and then this... Or I'm saying this protects card from destruction, and the other one stops any BS from happening. So now that I got Moon Mirror, that just made everything way easier. So I'll be honest, I solemn this because I knew that this was probably going to be another stun player. So I was just like, I'll just use it just to get this, and then at least I have Dogmatica just to protect me from whatever else. You know, if he has like another monster, let's say Inspector Border or just anything that can, you know, be annoying to attack over, I can just defend against it. I mean, should I? Oh, wow. When he did that, I was like, seriously? Because even with, like, Dogmatica, let's say not even that I'm afraid of the monster, but even just to get a free draw, like, there's just so much I can do with this card. So he gets Golgonda, and I'm an idiot, because, I realized that this card is any card sent to the graveyard is banished. He's got Golgonda. So now this becomes a fun time. Like, the biggest game of attrition. Because now I just can't do shit. It was so annoying. Like, like, the last turn, he gets the card he needs, and now I'm just going to have to sit here and wait so much. So I get Time Tearing finally myself, and now I'm just trying to, you know, pray at this point. Not much else I can do. And I just keep attacking him, you know, just 100 at a time. So now this is annoying. So what he did was, I think he was trying to eliminate his back row cards for something. I'm trying to remember this game. Because he does something silly. I was like, wait, he's getting rid of these? Why is he getting rid of these? That makes no sense. Oh yeah, that's right. Now he's destroying these. I was like, what an idiot. Who is this person? I got so confused. And now here I am with just like everything I don't need again. It's just so funny. Before I couldn't get monsters, now I have every monster that I just don't need. So now I attack him here, and then I attack him here. So now I'm really confused because I was like, what is he trying to do here? I was so lost. And then I had Dark Ruler set for him. I was like waiting off of that. I was like, well, I'm just going to wait for an opportunity for Dark Ruler to hit, and then I can just destroy his card or just do whatever I need to do with this card. But then nothing came of it. So now I'm sitting here waiting still. So now I have all these monsters, and I attack, and that was game. I'm not even joking. I was fearing for the evenly matched. I was like, oh, he's probably deleting all of his cards to get evenly, but he never did. That was a very interesting match. Even like when he eliminated his that graveyard card confused me because I was like, what is he like? He has like he's stalling perfectly, and this really is like what he needs to do until he draws his out. Unless he just didn't have a card in his deck that wasn't out, so he's just like, F this, I'm just gonna like let the game go. But yeah, I was just that was just a very questionable move. So typical Yubel, just doing all these Yubel things. I'm actually kind of happy that I somewhat know this deck, so I know like how to stop it. There's some decks that I just kind of know, oh, don't touch this card, don't touch that card. This one, like, I know pretty well enough because a friend of mine plays it. He's like a master at this deck. So, really quick, like, I have to play. So this I don't know because this is not the card that I'm familiar with. But like, blue dog goes into the graveyard, and then when, or not even, actually take that back. So blue dog is supposed to be in the graveyard because then you end up pulling it out, and then you actually get like a monster effect where you can like link this and something on my side of the field to get another monster. He didn't do it that way. He just left this here. So I was just like, okay, I guess. So he ends up taking this card and destroying the both of them, and I was like, alright. You know, now Blue Dog is gone. And now he's set up Eternal Favorite, and Blue Dog comes back. So I was like, alright, well at least Blue Dog came back, so it's still in play. But then I go Jogan, and do Jogan things with it. So I expected that. I was like, okay, I don't care. I'm just going to do it again. and then now he's probably extremely pissed off because, like, that's the thing. Jogan not being once per turn really just sucks. Now he tries to harpy me. I give him the middle finger. I set safe zone to make sure that this doesn't get off the field. I start time tearing. Set this in defense. Now starts the draws of stuff I don't need. But he quits, thankfully. I just remember getting those two draws, and I was like, seriously? And then, like, turn later, he ended up quitting. I was like, oh, thank the Lord. So after all that shit, now we're up to the final game. This is the game that was like super competitive and absolutely crazy, and like I ended up winning on the most insane technicality ever. This was kind of insane. Like I was so happy that I actually had a really competitive game, and this was the game that I actually got the max rank off of because it felt extremely rewarding. So immediately I start off with Necro Valley barrier, and this is, I mean, this isn't the best hand, but isn't the worst one. I mean, I would have liked maybe a safe zone here, but now he gets Vanadium, goes here, so now I destroy this with Dogmatic, and I try to take out his field spell. He thrusts here, and then I had to make a choice. I was like, bro, I'm not letting you get thrust. Like, this is not happening. I cannot allow this. So I end up getting rid of that, so that way, because God forbid, like whatever, he gets his choice of whatever he wants, and I was not letting that happen. So I get time tearing, thankfully. So now I feel like I'm somewhat in the driver's seat, but I'm really sitting on an unprotected barrier statue, which really had me on the edge of my seat. So now he literally takes that, destroys that, special summons that, gets the fucking field spell right back. I was like, oh great, so I went through all that to destroy this, and he still gets it back. And then he's still special summoning, because it's a water monster. So I was just extremely annoyed. I was like, alright, well, whatever. But at least it was just only defense, so that was cool. Now, next turn rolls around, I get Fossil Dyna, which isn't the worst thing, but at least I can stop him from special summoning completely. So now he gets the 1700 attack monster. I'm sitting here thinking maybe he ends up going for my Fossil Dyna. Nope, he went for the barrier statue for some dumbass reason. So I still have my stun is live. I don't know why he was doing that. Luckily drew into safe zone. That safe zone saved my life. Quite literally. As advertised. So this card doesn't die. Thankfully. Now, I'm just going to have to, like, sit here and top deck something important. So I do get Moon Mirror, thankfully. So I was like, oh my god, great, I get a good draw. So then I go and attack this card, get it out of here. So now we're sitting in a much better place. I mean, still not the most ideal, but it's still ideal enough. So I pass this, attack this. But now at least I get Dogmatica just to set another, trap, which I was real thrilled about. But now this guy's a jerk. So I take my 1500. Look what he does. So he sets... Oh yeah, never mind. Just kidding. So this is still fine. So I just attack and attack. But now I have a second... Oh, so now I have card protection. I have 2 Dogmaticas. And I attack and I attack. So look at what this guy does. This was absolutely insane. So he attacks. So he puts this card into attack mode, and I'm sitting here thinking like he's 2000 attack. So now what I should have did, smart me, would have just said, okay, I don't care. Go ahead and just attack one of my monsters. It's fine. But instead, I jumped the gun and got super nervous. I ended up attacking, or obviously I went to Dogmatica just to destroy this and to try to destroy one of his spell cards because I was a little worried about him. So I do that, attack this, take one of his spell cards out. Guess what? He has another fucking thrust. Woo! Congratulations to him. So now I know he has an Imperm. He's setting up Imperm for next turn. So now I'm sweating. So the draw comes around. So now I know whatever my first move is, he's going to imperm the shit out of me. So I immediately set this Fossil Dyna up. So now I'm thinking, okay, good, I'm clear. So what he does is he attacks this one. And then he thinks, well, okay, pause. So he attacks this one. And then he tries to use the column. I personally think he was expecting this column to not only negate this, but that's not how Imperm works. So he ended up losing on a technicality. Like, he thought he made a big brain move, and it just didn't work out. Because I'm not even going to lie, like, my heart stopped the minute he went and did this, and then I just saw that line come across. I was like, wait, he can't do that. And then sure enough, he couldn't do that. And I was like, ooh. So I win the game. It was like the most epic final battle to actually get to max rank and finally move to the next stage. It was absolutely, this was crazy. I literally had to like stop this game, like, because I usually play sometimes during lunch breaks at work. So like I had to show my coworker who was also big into Yu-Gi-Oh! I was like, bro, you need to see this. Watch this fucking game. And I just was like, just one after the other, just showing him play by play and just how, and it was funny because I was like, look at what this guy does, and then I showed him like the interaction with Imperm. He's like, he can't do that. I was like, yes, he can do that. I won. It was so funny. It was like the funniest exchange. So yeah, there you have it. Like literally all of my games count down to max rank. It was a wild ride. I'm gonna tell you now, like my first impressions of the beginning stages of the second round are actually kind of insane. I ended up making a few tweaks to my deck to try to see if I can work on that consistency because it's stupid. Like I'm literally spending. I have a 40 card deck and I'm still drawing cards that are just not the right cards. So I ended up going 44 cards, and for some reason, my pulls are amazing, or at least for the first 3 games. And so I'm going to continue playing, ripping through everything, and then I'll probably have some footage up, in like the next few days. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stage.